You are tuned in to On Air with Chris Shanafelt.
Welcome back On Air with Chris Shanafelt. Obviously, I am your host, Chris Shanafelt, and if you guys are familiar with my work in the past, you guys know I am also the host of the NFL Draft Bible Players Spotlight Show. Well, this year we're kind of changing things around, and we're going to call it Learning the Prospect. And it's a pleasure to now welcome onto the show Jay Liggins. He is a defensive back at Dickinson State University, DSU, in North Dakota. And Jay, we really appreciate you taking some time this evening. How's everything going, man?
It's going good, man. I'm glad you guys got me on here. It was great.
Absolutely. The pleasure is all mine. And, I kick off this new series called Discover the Prospect because that's exactly what you are, Jay. You are an NFL prospect. You are a guy that scouts have listed, and they're familiar with you. They're familiar now with your program. You're 1 week into your senior season. I mean, is that at all on your mindset? I mean, obviously you still have this one season to play it all, but is that the ultimate goal? And obviously you were named to the Senior Bowl watch list, and obviously a watch list is one thing. Being invited to the game is another thing, but I got to think it still felt pretty good to see your name listed on that watch list. I mean, is that at all in the back of your mind?
For sure, it's definitely on my mind. It's crazy to even hear you say that NFL prospect. You know, that's a dream. To even be listed with some of those guys on that list from those big-time schools, from over here in Dickinson, North Dakota, pretty small place out here. So it's pretty surreal to be on that list, but truthfully, I'm just trying to focus on my season, finishing one game at a time, and that's kind of my mindset all throughout my career because it's definitely been something I wanted, but, it's step by step, and I'm just trying to do the little things right because obviously I've done enough right to be on the spotlight. So I'm just trying to do what I've always done and finish this last season right and bring some win every week for these Blue Hawks because they deserve it, and I sure as hell, that's the only thing I want to do right now.
No doubt about it. And, obviously if you're playing college football there in the state of North Dakota, to get out of there and to play at a bigger level is one thing. I mean, tonight we're watching the Philadelphia Eagles following their Super Bowl season up with opening the season on Thursday Night Football against the Atlanta Falcons, the team they defeated in the playoffs once before. Obviously, the starting quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles, Carson Wentz, coming from North Dakota State. Here you are playing college football in North Dakota. They're at Dickinson State University. You got North Dakota State, you got the University of North Dakota. I'm not exactly sure how many other schools, colleges play football there in the state of North Dakota, but you're playing there in the state of North Dakota. And I'm not taking a jab at Dickinson State by all means. I love small school football, whether it's FCS to NAIA like you're playing, Jay. But looking from a bigger point of view, now people are familiar with North Dakota State. There are some out there that are familiar with the University of North Dakota. Here you are playing at Dickinson State, making a name for yourself. I mean, what's that kind of say about your game, your work ethic, and where you're at today?
Like I said, I feel like it speaks for itself. I obviously, like you even say, you don't even know how many schools are out here. So it's a very small town. And I graduated in Bismarck, North Dakota, so I actually played against Carson Wentz when I was a freshman. He and I were in the same field together. I wasn't on the field, but so it was just it shows that we have talent out here, and in a sense, he kind of opened the door for these North Dakota guys and then I'm over here at Dickinson. Hopefully, I can kind of take those same steps and put my school on the map just as he did for his. Obviously, they're 5-time national champs, 6-time national champs. They've done it. It's not just him, but he's put his school on the map, and I'm trying to go in the similar steps and broadcast us out here. So maybe next time you call a Dickinson guy, you would actually know how many schools are out here. And I understand it's a small arena out here, and I'm just blessed to be given the opportunity to have my name mentioned with the school, also mentioned with the Reese's Bowl, and to have you call me, to even have you talk to me and ask these questions about my school. That's a huge honor for me, and that's kind of everything I've wanted to do for these guys, considering they've done so much for me.
Absolutely. Now, the pleasure is all mine again, Jay. And, as we're talking, I'm watching your highlights that you have posted on Huddle. probably for the 6th or 7th time. I'm not even kidding you. And I noticed against Southern Oregon, you've even seen some time at wide receiver. I mean, especially playing that defensive back position, playing cornerback. Normally people say, people will go out and say, oh, he's a cornerback because he didn't have the hands to play wide receiver. Looking at your, and I know they're only highlights, and obviously they're called highlights for a reason, but just looking at some of your highlights and looking back at some of your tape, Jay, I mean, that doesn't really seem to be the case for you. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, but you have the size, you have the structure, and again, I don't want to look too far into the future. I don't want to, and I'm not really trying to blow air up your ass, man, but when looking at your tape, I mean, it is really impressive, and obviously moving forward, you're going to have the small school label attached to your name, but when I see you move out wide and play receiver, knowing that your main position is cornerback, that speaks volumes to the coaching staff having trust in your hands, no?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm on the hand team, the onside, anything, because I tell the coaches, I tell them I want to be on everything I can be, and, obviously they want to keep me healthy. But the coaches definitely have faith in what I do and what I've done. And then that was the playoff game, that Southern Oregon game.
Yeah. And
that was the first time in the playoffs, and they told me not week one, but coming in, they're like, yeah, we're gonna give you a shot. These guys are tough. They have some scrappy defenders, and we're just gonna give you the chance to go out there and do what you do. And that was a huge honor to be given that responsibility, given that role, and I was ready for it. I've never shied away from the spotlight in any way or fashion, so that was really cool, and I was excited for that. And even this year, I'm getting some receiver reps as well when need be. So, I mean, I definitely say I wouldn't ever say no DBs don't have good hands, because I'm trying to set the way for that. So, I mean, I always trust in my hands, trust in what I can do, and the coaches have too. So, it speaks to itself.
Yeah, especially like you said. I mean, that was just not any ordinary game. That wasn't even a conference game. It was more important than that. It was a playoff game against Southern Oregon, and unfortunately, you guys did lose that game 55-24, but the coaching staff felt that it was important enough to put you out there, even when the team was down, in a needing position, and you were there in a goal line opportunity, and the quarterback was able to float over the ball and get it your way, and you're able to come down with it in the end zone. Last season, Jay, you guys did finish with an overall record 9-2, 5-0 at home. I'm curious what that home feel, what that fan-like feel there at Dickinson State is like for you guys. What's the fan base like for you? What's the home field opportunity like for you guys? I mean, is there an advantage to playing at Dickinson State University for you guys when the Blue Hawks stay at home and play a game there?
Oh yeah, of course. I've been in school here for 4 years, starting off 4, and we've never lost a home game, and that's one thing I pride myself on. Playing at the BAC, the Hank Bijou Facility Center, it's a great feat. I love coming out here, putting on a show for the fans, and they deserve it. Like I said, this school is great. It's been great to me, and anytime I get to put on a show in front of the home crowd, it's always a good thing. And I feel bad for any team that comes out there to play us here.
I love it, man. Hey, you guys are coming off of a big 51-0 shutout victory against the University of Jamestown. You guys this weekend are playing Rocky Mountain College. I remember I interviewed a wide receiver. I'm sure
Andre McCullough.
There you go, Andre McCullough. I'm sure you were there playing against him. Anyways, they're as of right now ranked the number 20 team in the nation. They're in the NAIA. Obviously, last year you guys opened up your season against them, got a 43-28 victory. Here you guys are now going on the road to play them this weekend. Do you think there's going to be any bad blood there, knowing that you guys got the win last year there, or is that totally behind you guys? Is that totally behind them? And just overall, how much are you looking forward to playing this game?
It's a big game, big rivalry there, and definitely for us, the win is behind us. New season, new year. but I know they didn't forget about it. So I'm excited to come in there, and it's going to be a tough game. We're ranked 13th in the nation. They're ranked 20th. And they just came off a win. They're feeling good. We're feeling great. So I'm excited to get out there. They have a great atmosphere out there as well, and, I'm sure they don't want to come out there and lose. So I'm excited for it, and I know our guys are going to bring it. So it's going to be a dogfight I'm willing to participate in, and I'm ready to fight, and I can't wait.
Awesome. Hey, we're chatting with Jay Liggins, again, number 23, Dickinson State University Blue Hawks, senior defensive back. And, Jay, you're listed at 6'2", 200. Obviously, that's something that right there, that size that you bring will alone bring scouts or give scouts a lot of attention to. And another thing, you're a track athlete. I mean, talk about that background, how maybe that helps you with football, how football may help you with track, and obviously when you see a football player participating in track and field, the first thing you think about is speed. Is that what we need to think about with Jay Liggins, knowing about his track background while playing defensive back there at DSU?
For sure. I'm actually a jumper, but I definitely have great track fundamentals. I've always done track. I did track in high school here, and then I was a sprinter in high school. I jumped and sprint, qualified for state here, won state for triple jump, for third and long, and I'm actually a two-time All-American long jumper. And then so, I definitely think that the track and the football aspect comes together. They all come together. Last year I was All-American in track, All-American in football. And so I feel like usually when I'm in the shy for both, I don't know, just when I'm on my game and I feel like I'm great, and I feel like track has always helped me do that with my sprinting mechanics and some of that stuff that some football players don't really get taught, just for the fact that they have never been in track. You see it all the time, these football players who have to be taught how to properly start their 40 or this and that, arm movements and stuff like that. And these are things that come second nature to me, just I've been in track so long. And so I think it definitely plays a role in my career for football. And like you said, how coach trusts me for a goal line situation. Coach knows I'm jumping, coach knows I can fly. And I've never met anyone in the nation who can beat me in a jump ball. So, and that's just how it is, and that's just how it's gonna be. And so I pride myself on my jumping ability, and until I prove it wrong, I guess.
Hey, that's exactly the mindset you need to have. And watching this huddle video of you, man, whether it's interceptions, whether it's you splitting out wide playing receiver or you're deflecting a pass, you see kind of where that track background comes from. It doesn't surprise you that you are also a track athlete. Let me ask you, I mean, a little over or less than a year from now, God willing, you probably will be participating in a combine or at the very least in a pro day. Do you have any estimations or do you have any goals written down when it comes to that 40-yard dash or a vertical leap?
For vertical leap, I don't know. But there's no limit to my jumping ability. But so I'm not sure on that. But for a 40, I think a 4.5 or if I'm feeling real good and feeling great, 4.4. But like I said, I don't know. I don't know. I haven't used because I'm in track during our usual testing for the 40s and the verticals and stuff like that. So I usually don't get a chance to participate in that because I start my training as soon as I can. So I miss out on the opportunity to do a lot of that stuff, and we don't do it as much in the summertime. So I mean, I don't have an exact number estimate that I could give you truthfully, but I don't know. I think I can do anything I put my mind to, so I'm ready to go.
I'll tell you what, man. I mean, again, obviously we still got the whole season to play, but I'm really looking forward to following your prospect off season. Again, don't want to look too much forward. I'm really looking forward to seeing what you're able to do the rest of this senior season of yours. But that should be a treat to watch your prospect off season, your pro day, combine, etc. Couple more questions for you, Jay, then we'll let you go. Really appreciate it. Again, we're chatting with Jay Liggins, defensive back, Dickinson State University, NAIA program, really a name that you need to look out for. Whether you're able to get your hands on any game tape or even his huddle page. I mean, it really is a lot of fun to watch. And Jay, I mean, what's your favorite part? I mean, again, I'm sure if you coming out of high school, if you had an opportunity to play at a big FBS program, I'm sure you would have had it. But here you are now entering your final season at an NAIA program. They're at Dickinson State University. You're kind of flying under the radar. What's your favorite part about that? I got to think that over the years, you know, you're probably feeling like the underdog. You're probably still feeling like the underdog. But now, again, Senior Bowl watch list. I mean, now you're going to have some names, some draft analysts reach out to you. Now you got a lot of people. Your name's on the radar. I mean, I got to think over the years, going through some adversity, again, coming out of high school, probably thinking you were deserving of a bigger opportunity. And now here you are now still getting or still receiving some attention from some watch lists, from some media outlets. I mean, I got to think it's kind of feeling like it's paying off. Again, you're not at that point just yet, but what's been your favorite part about taking this journey that you've been at so far over the years there at Dickinson State University?
I think the best part is just for, like, the goals I've had when I was coming out of high school. You know, like, I think it's, like, every time I accomplish something that like, I've had these goals, but every time I do something, it's almost just like I didn't see it coming. You know, like, when I first got All-American for a long jump when I was a sophomore, that was something I always wanted to get, no matter what school I'm at, All-American status. Like, let me take that from me. In that AD1, like, anywhere I'm at, like, I got that. And then I got it again. Then I got it again for football, which was, like, something I also want to do. You know, like, I take football. I like football more than track, so that was crazy for me, something I always wanted to do. And then I got it again for a long jump. I got All-American again for outdoor, and that was something I wanted to do, get on that podium for outdoor. So the main thing for me is just, like how you said, like, it's a weird feeling because I've never felt like the underdog, because I know I'm what I have and I know what I bring to the table. But being at the table I am at, you know, like, it is looked at as, you know, a little lower stature. And even if I was at a bigger school, I'm still in North Dakota for, like, Carson. He had that same adversity he was going through being at NDSU and the things they've done there. So I just think it's real feat, and just for the fact that I am getting the attention that I always thought I deserved, and I knew and I'm playing at the level that, like, whether I'm NIA or not, I'm playing at the best of my level of my competition. And so I always just thought, like, I think that's great, and, like, I just want to get better and better, and, like, I have done that over the years. So I'm excited to see what the doors open for me as well. And, like, I know what I'm going to bring to the table. I know the effort I bring and the dog that's in me. So I'm going to just keep competing and doing what I got to do, because the right doors are going to open, because they already have.
Again, one of the things that are thought about defensive backs is, they can't catch the football. That's not the narrative that comes along with you, Jay Liggins of Dickinson State University. Another one, physicality. Defensive backs, or specifically cornerbacks, they're afraid to get physical. They're afraid to lay the hard hit. Again, watching some of your highlights, watching some of your film, Jay, that's not the case when it comes to you.
No, sir.
I love it. I mean, is that something that just comes with the football player inside of you? Again, I mentioned your height and weight. I believe your school has you listed 6'2", 200 pounds. 6'2", 200. Is that just something that comes with you, and knowing that you have the weight and height of some of these receivers, maybe you're even bigger than some of these receivers? I mean, is that just your kind of mentality that, hey, if I do let one of these guys catch the ball on me, better know that I'm either going to lay a hard hit on them that forces the ball out of there, or if they still hold on to it, then, hey, you know, good for them, but I know I just laid the hit stick on them.
Yeah, for me, like, I've always had some height with my size. So I've never considered myself a big guy. Coming from 7 brothers, like, I guess, like, it's just part of that. Like, I've never thought I was a big dog out there, and, like, I've gotten bigger and bigger as I've progressed. And then, like, so the size kind of came slower, but, like, I feel like I've always had that dog inside of me that I've, like, if you got the ball, like, if they throw the ball to me, that was the first mistake. And, like, if you catch it, that was your second, because I'm coming. And I'm going to make you pay for it. And so I feel like that's all that I am. if someone gets the ball, like if the ball's on my way, either I'm catching it or someone's getting hit. So like I always just thought that was just a mentality I always had. I never liked seeing anyone catch the ball on me, whether it's practice or anything. Like if you catch the ball, I'm upset about it. And then so I think that comes with like who I am, like you said, like, and they say DB is that, DB is this, but like you can watch these DBs in college. I feel like that's not the case that much anymore. These guys want to play. These guys are hard hitters. They're ready to go. I feel like you find more soft receivers than you find soft DBs nowadays. So I'm ready to exploit that any chance I get, and I'm just hungry for it. I just want to be involved in the play, and like I say, I don't want anyone to catch the ball on me. So if you get it, like, I'm going to bring it.
Final question for you, Jay. If I'm not mistaken, if I did my research right, you've been in the playoffs. You've helped, you and your team have been in the playoffs. The Blue Hawks have been in the playoffs every year since you've been there. But if I'm not mistaken, a first-round bounce every year. You guys are now 1-0 to start your senior season. Obviously, you want to take it one game at a time, but the goal is to, in the very least, reach the playoffs, and then from there, reach the NAIA National Championship game. What will you guys need to do this season differently than you guys have done in the past? What will you guys need to do in order to make it to that second round of the NAIA playoffs and further?
I think we're really we've got some new coaches and stuff. Not that that's the problem, but our new defensive scheme is pretty. I think we really have, and I think the biggest thing for us is just believing that we're actually that team. Instead of watching guys out here just like, oh, these big schools, NIA, this and that. Like we need to think that we're one of those big time schools, and every time we step on the field, that we're not the underdog. We're not looking at like this and that. We need to come out there just hungry and ready to go, and have these guys looking at us like, oh shoot, Dickinson State's coming to town. Instead of us coming. Not to say we have, but I just feel like we need more guys from the ones to the fours, just coming out there hungry, ready to go, ready to really believe that like we're a national championship team, national championship contending team. And I think that will be the really difference for us because we have the guys. I've played with these guys for these 4 years. I know we have the guys on our team. I know we're hungry for it, but we just need to trickle that down to the younger guys, new guys. And I just think that's what it's really going to take for us to be the team that I know we can be.
Well, hey Jay, really appreciate you taking some time this evening. Wishing you the best of luck the remainder of your senior season, and just to be blunt with it, man. No bullshit. You are literally one of the best defensive backs in the nation. I like to think of myself as I'm well versed in the FCS and Division II, even a little bit of Division III football. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not super big in NAIA football. But watching you and watching your team, it's certainly going to be something I'm going to be doing this season, and especially just kind of discovering your junior season tape and your highlights on Huddle. It's really been a lot of fun to watch and kind of pick at your game. And again, man, with the size and speed combination that you bring and the versatility that you bring in the defensive backfield, I really think that it's something special, and I think you have a future in this game, even past your senior year there at Dickinson State University. But before that, I'm wishing you all the best of luck in this senior season of yours at Dickinson State. And again, definitely keeping tabs on you throughout the season. Hopefully we can chat again sometime in the near future. And again, man, thanks so much for taking some time tonight.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for contacting me.